All right, it is debate night. Democratic candidates for the 2020 presidential election are kicking off what will be the first of two evenings of debates. John Harwood is with us. He is in Miami, where the first of those two will take place this evening. Good morning, John. You know, we saw an earlier graphic, I think Elon Mui brought it up, that 64% of the voters at least want to hear about climate change as their number one issue. Are we going to hear a lot about climate change tonight, or is it going to be more economic concerns that take the stage?
Well, we'll definitely hear about climate change from Jay Inslee, the governor of Wisconsin, who's made it the centerpiece of his campaign. But I would expect that this debate will revolve somewhat more around economic issues, because this debate will revolve around Elizabeth Warren. She's led the field in populist economic proposals. She's got her wealth tax, which pays for a whole lot of things, including universal child care and relief of a whole lot of college debt. She happens to be the highest-ranked candidate on this stage tonight, and you've got moderate candidates in the Democratic context like Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, all of whom have struggled to break through, and they've got some incentive to tangle with her on those issues and try to set themselves apart. Of course, the two leaders in the race nationally, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, are going on Thursday night.
John, I wonder how the candidates will distinguish themselves from President Trump on trade.
Well, that's a very hard one, because the Democratic Party has been trending more, certainly at the presidential level, more into a pro-trade direction. We certainly saw that under Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, while Republicans with Donald Trump have gone in the opposite direction. I think what you're going to see from Democrats is a reluctance to embrace free trade and trade deals explicitly, but criticize the way that President Trump has pursued his tariff agenda against China, against the EU, against Canada and Mexico, even though he has pulled back some of those tariffs lately. I think they're going to cast Donald Trump as somebody who is a chaotic architect of policy, who's creating uncertainty in the business community and harming economic growth as a result.
John, how much interest do you think, I know it's difficult to measure, there is in these two debates at this point? I mean, we are still a long way from the first primary, let alone the election. Well,
this is a point where a lot of Democrats who have not tuned in are going to tune in. You know, there's a small group of people, the Twitterati, the people like us who cover this constantly, the people most intensely involved, the activists, who've been following the debate. But many of these candidates are almost completely unknown to the national audience. There are a whole lot of Democrats who are more casual consumers of politics. This is a chance for those candidates to try to introduce themselves and get some traction. So far, we've seen a race that Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have led with some movement. Pete Buttigieg, who's going on Thursday night, has had a rise. Beto's had a fall. Lately, Warren has been rising, but a lot of people haven't had a chance to speak to the American people, and they've got to grab some people's attention right now. If not, they're not going to be able to raise money. They're not going to be able to make the debate stage for the next phase of the process, which requires a whole lot more signatures, a whole lot more individual small contributions, higher poll standing. All of that is going to make this a critical moment for people to say, hey, wait, don't kick me out of this party just yet.